Hey there, I'm radio and TV personality Rob Pagetto, and I'm about to introduce you to Bill Dowd, who is the president and CEO of Skedaddle, which is a humane wildlife control company. And I've used them in the past, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But this podcast is all about a franchise opportunity for you. And we're going to get some information on how you can get involved or even get some more information on this very cool company. Bill Dowd, President and CEO of Skedaddle, welcome to, I guess your very first podcast.
It is. Exciting times. Great to have me on, and I appreciate it, Rob.
Well, this is a very interesting business because there's a lot of pest control businesses out there, but you're quite unique. Now, before we get into your business and everything that revolves around it, how did you come up with Skedaddle and the idea of pest control?
Well, as you say, pest control, exterminators, they've always been out there. But we came up with a different, unique model that, people always thought trap and relocate. And we thought there's a more humane methodology that we do a hands-on removal, then we focus on animal-proofing the structure. So, back when I started, it was always, and we can get into this later, that Toronto was the raccoon capital of the world. But, being here in Hamilton, and now we have franchises across Ontario, Quebec, the East Coast, the States. Every city in North America has a problem with raccoons, squirrels, skunks. These animals are flourishing in our cities.
I agree. I live downtown Toronto, and we've got a cottage up in Apsley. And, there's problems everywhere. So now, as I go into our rabbit hole of franchise, do you see what I did there?
Yeah.
This is a very unique business. So let's explain to our listeners the franchise model and why you have a variety of different backgrounds joining Skedaddle.
Yeah, you don't need to be an animal lover. You don't have to have any experience with raccoons. We're going to train everything. So, that executive type, maybe they're looking for a career change. They want to own their own business, control their future. You can be a manager or a general manager and hire sales staff, technicians. It's definitely a scalable business. So, come with a good attitude. We're going to teach you everything else, and you can be successful and have that better work-life balance where you want to take time off to go to your kid's hockey game or a long weekend. As a business owner, you have that flexibility versus working for somebody else.
Yeah, it's funny because when I met your crew that came up to our cottage, I was talking with some of them, and they came from all different backgrounds. So I think what's really cool is it's an exciting venture because, not a lot of people are in this business, and you're teaching them how to do this humanely, which is really neat.
Exactly. And that's something we've dealt with for 33 years that we've been in business. Anyone who comes into our office looking for a job, they don't even know this business exists, let alone you could have a job at it working or have a franchise that you actually own. So, for example, the crew that did work at your cottage, we have our general manager and manager who they're not on roofs. They're managing people. They're taking care of customers. They're making sure that things move efficiently and effectively. And we have all of the back office stuff right here at our corporate office, whether it be our call center, our marketing team, our accounting team that are going to help those franchisees get launched and help them be successful. Because we're in this together. We want to make it win-win for our franchisees and win-win for us as the franchisor. And I love seeing people, grow in their own life.
It's really cool that, you do that with your staff. And now let's move to the pests themselves because as a franchise owner, you're going to have the ability to not just deal with raccoons. We're talking about all kinds of pests. If you can, give me an idea of some of the pests that you take care of.
Right. So, obviously Skedaddle Wildlife Control is your staples. Raccoons, squirrels, skunks, birds, bats, mice. But as we're at a house, we also see ants and spiders, and there's bed bugs now because as more people travel, as COVID kind of loosens up. So, we also do a pest control, which similar to our wildlife, we focus on animal proofing the structure. We can put product and material down on the outside of homes to stop those spiders and ants from coming into home because there's a lot of diseases and dirtiness associated with pests as well. So that's one of the service lines that we allow our franchisees to expand into when they're ready. And we're going to be there to help them. And same thing, you don't have to, I've got my pest license, I've never sprayed or killed an ant in my life. And, you don't want me out there doing it, but, I have staff that can do it. And that's why this business is such a scalable business that you can have 5, 10, 15, 20 service trucks on the road, depending on your size of your franchise territory.
That's pretty neat. Now, speaking of territories, like New York has cat-sized rats. Florida, gators, rattlesnakes. You're all good with that.
We are, yeah. We've dealt with snakes that get loose in apartment complexes. 6-foot boas. We've dealt with Japanese snow monkeys that are in the loose in Niagara. We've dealt with llamas, great horned owls. So I have a whole crew of staff that have worked with me for close to 20 years. That if we got to go down to Florida or out to Texas for an alligator or a big snake, I'm gonna have guys knocking down my door who want to get out there and deal with something that's kind of cool and not the day-to-day raccoons and squirrels and skunks. So, yeah.
What I like most about your business is the humane part of the situation. So you're not, let's take, for instance, a raccoon that is in my attic. You're not killing them. You're actually trapping them. And I think that goes well with society nowadays, that if, as a franchise owner, that you can say to your region, your area, that, hey, listen, we're relocating. We're not killing. We want to keep these little critters alive if we can.
Right, exactly. Now, we focus on hands-on removal, so we're not trapping, because there is research out there that if you trap and relocate an animal from one city out to the suburbs, it only has a 30% chance of survival. And there's so many animals in our cities nowadays, we're never going to get rid of them. So our focus is we'll do a hands-on removal, pick up those babies, take them on the outside. We have this baby reunion box. We put these babies in. The mom, we chase her out. She finds those babies, and she'll carry them away to an alternate den site. All urban wildlife typically have 7 to 10 den sites in a 2-block radius. So it's not like she's going down the street and, okay, there's a house, I'm going to rip a new hole, I'm going to go in. We'll watch her. She goes down the street, and sure enough, there's already a hole in that neighbor's roof, and in she goes. So the trapping is how we differentiate ourselves from the competition. Most competitors, that's what they do. But it's not very humane, because only 70% will die when you relocate them. And these animals they know the city environment. That's like taking me out to Algonquin Park or out to the wilderness and say, there you go, Bill, survive. Like, if there's not a McDonald's or a Wendy's or some type of restaurant close by, I'm not surviving. And the same thing, taking an animal out to the country that isn't used to a country, it just doesn't survive.
And as a new franchise owner, I guess I would go on site with you, and you would kind of train me. And then as I built my business, bringing in new employees, same kind of thing. So, hey, we're going to this cottage, we're going to this house, come on board. We're going to show you how to do this, because it's a hands-on almost lesson to create your own franchise.
Right. There's a lot of training. Nowadays we have everything online. Franchisees, before they come to our corporate office, they've done a lot of at-home learning where, quizzes and videos. So they get the background, and then they come to our corporate office, and we're going to get them out in the field. They're going to see a sales call. They're going to see what we call a do job, where we're actually doing the work, so they get their hands on. We'll teach them safety. Everything is right there to be trained. And then when they launch, we're going to get somebody out there to help them for the first week or two, get them kind of launched, and then support. We're always here. I have staff that have been with me for 20 years, back when it was just the 4 of us in trucks, and we had pagers on our hips, and the phone would go 10 o'clock at night, someone's got a bat flying around their bedroom. So we have the support, and there's nothing we haven't seen, because that's what franchising is a lot. You don't want to be out there twisting in the wind. Well, how do I do this? Give us a call, bounce some ideas, because through the Skedaddle locations, we're maybe 150 homes a day.
Wow.
So there isn't anything we haven't seen or done. So we're going to support and make that franchisee a success.
Let's briefly talk about that support in terms of equipment. The vehicles I see that are on the road, the ladders, the one-way doors.
Yeah.
See, I've educated myself with watching your group. All those things. Would there be a kit depending on the size of the franchise and location? How will that work?
Yeah, we help them with here's your list of products that you need to buy and equipment to buy. Here's what we've, as approved vendors, saying, this is where you're going to buy your screen, this is where you're going to buy your nets, this is where you're going to buy everything. So, we have some franchisees that, because of our leasing programs across the country and across the U.S., that we'll actually get the vehicle all shipped and outfitted and ship it right to their community. They jump in that vehicle, they're off to the races to start their business.
I love it. It's almost a one-stop shop for you guys.
That's right. We make it turnkey. That we want those franchisees to come in. They bring the hard work. We can't force you to work 40 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 100 hours a week. That's you as a business owner. So hopefully we want people who want to grow a business, create a better life for themselves, create a better life for people in their community, and obviously provide jobs for people in the community.
All right, now let's talk about technology. You're up on the latest technology because we're talking drones.
Yeah,
Skedaddle has their own drones, and I'm not talking ones that are lifting up, raccoons and relocating them with a parachute. Hey,
That's coming next,
Yes,
Rob.
I was going to say that's
coming
my
next.
idea. My idea. Tell me about the technology.
Yeah, we love our technology. We like to use technology as our competitive advantage, besides giving exceptional customer service. So we use drones, so that way you don't have to put up ladders. So you don't. If you're afraid of heights, that doesn't matter. We'll get you a drone. We'll show you how to use that drone to inspect the home. We have infrared cameras, so you go into a house, you can put this camera up to the ceiling. You say, oh, there's where the mother raccoon is. There's where the babies are. Our phone systems. We have loaner alarms on your hips, which basically for protection if you fall, if you're on a job site by yourself, that it's going to send an alert to our call center. So we got to check, are you okay? Do we have to send help? So we love our technology, and we really think that's our competitive advantage, that we have this whole back office here that supports not only my locations, but franchisees as they come into our system.
So the franchisees have 24-hour access to this call center. If they need help, bang, you guys are there.
Right, we're here. Or somebody's going to take their call that, I got someone with a bat in my house at 11 at night. What do I do? Well, you're going to go out here. We'll walk you through it. Nowadays with video and FaceTime, you could be at a job site and showing it. And we've done that. We're around this board table. We have managers here. And actually, it was our first franchisee in Halifax. He couldn't understand why this raccoon kept getting back in. And as he's walking around showing us, we said, have you checked that? No, it looks good from here. No, get your ladder up. And sure enough, it was a piece of aluminum that the raccoon would go in, it would flop up, and then it would go back down. And, you're walking around.
They're smart.
They're smart. They're tiny smart. But, that was just our experience. We probably had 100 years of experience in this room and we all saw that, said, there's where it's going.
I love it. Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about not necessarily money, but is there a high demand for this business?
Yes. That's what people just don't understand, how busy we are. This call center here will get anywhere from 300 to 400 phone calls today.
Wow.
People don't realize this business exists until you have a problem. But here I am in my 33rd year in business, and every year we basically have double-digit growth. And
did you hear that? Double-digit growth every year.
And with COVID, we've set records month after month after year, because as more and more people are transitioning from going downtown, working the tall office building, working at home, they're hearing that squirrel in the walls, they're hearing that mouse, they're hearing that raccoon at first thing in the morning coming back in. So there's a huge demand, and people just don't realize that this business exists until they have that problem. And then we want to be first of mind, we want to be out there quick, exceptional service. So we give these animals everything they need in the city environment. We give them our food sources, our garbage. And everybody puts their garbage out the night before.
Yep.
That's when raccoons and skunks and opossums are all out foraging for fruit, mice and rats.
24-hour drive-through.
24-hour drive-through. So we give them the food, and we give them the homes, our attics, our chimneys, underneath our decks, our sheds. So we humans have created that perfect environment for raccoons and squirrels and skunks, and of course mice and rats have always relied on humans for their growth. But it's a flourishing business, and every year we can't keep up. There'll come a time where we want to be out there. You call me today, we want to be out there the next day. It always happens. Or some of our franchisees, they're maybe not prepared. They didn't put that extra truck on the road, didn't hire. And people are waiting 2 weeks for us to get out, which is a long time to wait when you got a raccoon destroying your attic.
And hearing noises.
Hearing noises. Keeping you up all night. You can't go to work. You're cranky the next morning. It's like having a newborn baby in your bedroom with you.
Well, it kind of freaks you out.
Yeah, the babies cry all night long.
So what makes Skedaddle different from other wildlife control companies?
I think our unique methods that we're doing this hands-on removal. A lot of the new markets, whether it be any American city or in Western Canada, they're all trapping and relocating. So we're coming in with a different business model. I like to say kind of what Uber did to the taxi industry is what we do to the wildlife industry. We'll get competitors trying to copy us. They'll stop trapping. Oh, how do I seal up that hole? But they're 33 years behind us, and plus we got the marketing, we have the support. So all that kind of rolls into one big great opportunity.
And it seems like this is, can be applied any region, any place in North America.
Exactly. Whether it's a hot climate of Florida, California, or colder, Sudbury, Montreal, Ottawa, where we have locations, you're talking 6 feet of snow, Sudbury or Montreal, but animals are still running around and getting into trouble in those colder climates. In fact, they spend more time indoors in that attic space in Montreal, so to speak, because they don't want to go out in the snow just like us. We don't want to be out in that frigid weather. So every city in North America, this business, and that's our goal. Our goal is to have hundreds of locations across Canada and the U.S.
So if somebody is looking for a new opportunity, a little change of life, because you've seen that through COVID, people are going, you know what, I don't want to do what I've been doing and in terms of my work and my business. I want to change things up. This is exciting because this can be new for you, but it's always something different, I imagine. You've got stories and more stories.
There is, every day there's a new story. It never ends. Animals get unique in different areas. And, when you're in the industry, you kind of get used to it. But, for someone new, you still get that call. Wow, how cool is that? Here's a raccoon that had babies in a cooler, on somebody's, a high-rise building, 10 stories up, and there's a cooler there that they left out over the winter, and there's mother raccoon and babies are there. So there's always a fun, unique stories. It's not like a business where you're sitting at a desk saying, it's only noon hour, right? Half the day. It's like, holy smokes, it's noon hour. I got this, and this to do. It's a fast-paced job, but when you're a franchise owner, you could run as fast as you want. You can take your time, take those times off. You work 7 days a week, 5 days a week. You're the boss. It's your business.
Be as big or as small as you want to be.
That's right. Yeah. You're in control.
We're going to get into some stories, some fun stories on our next podcast, so stick around. But in the meantime, Bill, where can people find more information about this lucrative and exciting business that can be theirs?
Yeah, the best place to go online. We have our consumer website, skedaddlewildlife.com. We also have skedaddlefranchising.com. So the franchising site will give you all information about it and start the process. We want people to feel comfortable making this decision because it's a life-altering decision, So we want you to feel comfortable. We want to get to know you. We need to make it a win-win situation for all parties involved. And, of course, the Christmas decorating business that we do is also extremely fun as well. That we are professional Christmas decorators, and people say, well, Bill, how do you go from catching raccoons and squishing bugs into doing Christmas decorating? Well, we got the staff, we got the trucks, we got the ladders, and that's a real fun business. And once again, that's another service line that our franchisees can add on whenever they feel like it.
I love it. 365 a year, you got something going on, whether it's Christmas lights or pest control, wildlife control, it's you. I'm going to spell Skedaddle because I'll tell you what. I had to look it up because I couldn't get it in my head how to spell Skedaddle. So it's Skedaddle, wildlife.com, or the same, Skedaddle, franchise.com. I'm Rob Pagetto. Bill Dowd, thanks for hanging out with me. Tune in for our next podcast. We're going to be telling some serious stories that's going to make you laugh and make you want your own franchise.